And welcome back, everyone, to the Zanpakuto Creation Series. This one comes to us from, I just realized I wrote down everything in the book except the person's name. Luckily, I have it here. This comes to us from Adam Zilk, who asked the question, what is, and I've never watched Owl House, so I do apologize if I mispronounced the name. Is it Luz Noceda? Is that her name? Who is more or less the main character of Owl House. So, this character, I actually had a very simplistic but unique idea for her. Because I don't know the character personally, and I don't watch the series, I had to at least look up at least a little bit about her. And what I found was, as the main character, she's trying to be a witch without having any magical capabilities. She's very kind, but also headstrong and stubborn, aka your standard protagonist, more or less. But because of that, I like the idea of doing something like similar to like Asta from Black Clover, where because he lacks magical capabilities, he is able to use his Black Clover swords effectively because they don't drain his magic or anything because he has none. So what if we did something where this would be a perfect type of Zanpakuto for someone who doesn't have like any, what would be the better equivalent exchange here, who has no ability in Kido. Who basically, we're looking at a melee type. That's what we're looking at. And honestly, she has a bit of a tomboy-esque appearance to her. I've never watched the show. Maybe she's less tomboy than I'm making her out to be. Maybe she's more. But with that said, I went this route. It's simplistic, but I think it works because we haven't actually seen a Zanpakuto that works like this. Well, at least not in the standard foray. So it would be a melee type Zanpakuto, first and foremost. Good, awesome. A katana in steel form, that's a general standard equipment. Some are different, but generally it's katana. Its release would be Climb. Its name would be, very simple, it'd be Long Arm. Its Bankai's name would be God's Arm. Now, the spirit of the Zanpakuto, I admit, I didn't actually think on that until just now. I wrote everything else down. I forgot to write the spirit. I might go based on the whole idea of the owl house, maybe like a wood owl or something like that, something that just lives in the tree branches. But what it would be is a bow staff, a very simplistic type of weapon. I did a bow staff a couple of times. For, I believe, Luna Lovegood, I did a bow staff for as well. But hers had a very different ability than what we're going to do here. That being said, there's nothing wrong with repeating a form to a Zanpakuto, because a lot of Zanpakutos just stay swords with like effects added onto them. All the elemental Zanpakutos, for example, do not change their shape; they just gain elements. I mean, how many spears of varieties do we have for Zanpakuto? There is, the original 8th Division captain, whose name I'm forgetting, the other woman who everyone quickly caught on and was like, oh my god, she's got huge assets. No, I can't remember her name, but she had a spear. Technically, Korinji's got a spear, although it's more like it's an ore blade. It's a spear, let's be frank. Ikaku's got a 3-section staff, but it's still a spear. And Lisa has not a spear, but something that you could at least say is in the relative family of a spear. So I say all this because you can repeat ideas when it comes to the form of a Zanpakuto, as long as the ability at least has some sort of uniqueness to that individual. Now, that being said, would I say it's a wood staff? Well, not necessarily. It could still have like metal accents on it, whatever. But it doesn't have a blade, doesn't have a tip. So at best, it's got maybe some like wood, like metal caps on the ends of each part of the bow staff, and those can be used for, solid attack. But what is the actual ability? Does it even have an ability? Well, all Zanpakuto have an ability. Even melee types have some level of ability. Again, I refer you to Ikaku, whose ability actually is a 3-section chain staff. It's also confirmed that the ointment in his blade is a part of that Zanpakuto's ability, believe it or not. But I digress. So I think you would be looking at a Sun Wukong Shinso kind of thing here. The staff itself can extend, and it can extend quite a long way. And I think one of the it's like not really an ability, it's just I guess you could call it an ability, is the fact that the spear doesn't bend. What do I mean by that? Well, the longer you make something, if you're not compensating the width with the length, it's going to start to like get flimsy and wobble. If you ever do that with a ruler, that's why a ruler looks like it goes, or a pen looks like it goes all wiggly, because after a while it kind of starts to bend a little bit. Well, not a pen, but a ruler definitely, because it's all just thinned out. It's all extended. The mass and the weight are not balanced correctly. That's why it bends and kind of snaps. Well, this Zanpakuto, along with being able to extend God knows how far, is also capable of just remaining stiff the whole time. Now, that doesn't sound important, but it actually very much is, because the reason it bends is the fact that the weight starts to sink on the other end, because it just can't maintain the weight, but the weight is evenly balanced on the Zanpakuto, so you can literally, as long as you can lift the thing, you can just swing, hypothetically, a mile-long stick and just whack everything down, hypothetically. Now, again, if we're looking at her from the standpoint of a captain, who knows how long this thing could go. In theory, there might not be any limitation. Even Shinso had limitations. Its Shikai is 100 swords long, and its Bankai, we actually don't know. It's not as fast or as long as Gin makes it out to be. But the Bankai, God's Arm, this is where the Sun Wukong influence comes in, because not only can it extend its length in Bankai, it can extend its mass and width. In essence, I gave her Sun Wukong staff. She could literally just rapidly expand it, and then just as it's about to hit someone, it turns into like a 100-foot long spear, and then just boom, smashes someone down to the ground. Now, obviously, this Zanpakuto has no Kido base, has no Ryatsu defenses, nothing like that. It is strictly a very powerful melee weapon. But but unlike other melee weapons, it actually is a legitimate short, mid, and long-range weapon. So that gives her a lot of versatility. Against a lot of opponents, she wouldn't do very well, but still, it's a unique Zanpakuto that I think works. This is just my idea for it, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.